everyone, and welcome to another installation of the Indy podcast with Mayor Sue Kemp. Mayor, good to see you again.
Good to see you, Clara. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. We have three questions for you, starting with an update on the Visitor Impact Stewardship Committee, which you and Councilmember Mark Orgill are currently on. Can you give us an update on how that's going, looking to next
Sure.
summer?
Yeah, there's like sort of two parts to it. One is the Visit Laguna piece where we're kind of restructuring Visit Laguna. Mark has been doing most of the heavy lifting on that. But we've talked previously about the three pillars that we want to put in place for Laguna. One is environmental, one is heritage, and one is culture. And so when we talk about Laguna Beach as a place to visit, we want to make sure that we emphasize that when you come to Laguna, these are the things that are in the forefront of our minds in terms of how we like to think about Laguna Beach and how we'd like visitors to think about Laguna Beach as well. And then there's what I call more the tactical side. So we're doing something called the Surge, and that's for the summer, basically from the middle of June to the middle of August, when we get the preponderance of visitors. And those are things mainly about enforcement. We're going to be adding more parking, so we'll get more parking revenue to offset some of our costs. Visit Laguna is giving us some money next year, so we will be using some of that money to offset our costs. And we'll be putting more parking enforcement in, maybe part-time people. So anyway, we're forming our plan now. We're working very hard on it. I think it's going to be good. And we'll also do some probably more Google ads, because we got a lot of impressions from our Google ads last year as well. And those pertain really to no drinking, no smoking, take your trash with you, that kind of thing.
Right. Sounds promising. I'm sure that'll help for next season. Now that we're going into the winter, it's a lot more time to focus on what we're going to do next summer.
That's the hope.
Yes.
Yep.
At Tuesday's council meeting, the city council authorized support for Prop 4. So can you explain a little bit about what Prop 4 is and why the council decided to back it?
Well, the reason we backed it was, first of all, Prop 4 is called the Safe Drinking Water, Wildfire Prevention, Drought Preparedness, and Clean Air Bond Act. So it's a $10 billion bond. And the nice thing about it, particularly for us, is on wildfire prevention. So we can submit grant requests, and that money comes directly to the cities to benefit directly. So which is really nice, because we don't have a circuitous route that we have to go through to get grant money. We can apply directly. So Mayor Pro Tem Ranaghi also mentioned, and it was a good comment, that we should engage Townsend Public Affairs if this passes right away to start grant writing activity. And there's a variety of things we can use on wildfire prevention that would be useful for us and helpful for our town.
Right. And speaking of wildfire prevention, our third question is the news, starting with the news that the 2022 coastal fire investigation recently concluded, confirming that the cause of the fire was an electrical issue involving sparking from a Southern California Edison power line. Can you talk a little bit more about that news that just came out, and also about the fire department event that's coming up on Saturday?
Yeah, so that fire occurred on May 11th, 2022 in the afternoon. It started about 2:45. And when the fire started, Edison alerted us immediately that they had what they called unspecified circuit activity in that area. And so the fire started around 2:45, and I was watching that fire actually from a vacant lot up on Barracuda. And that fire burned 20 homes in Niguel and damaged 11 more. That was a little over 200 acres. So after the investigation, it was a long investigation if you think about it, because it's been over 2 years. But OCFA came back and said that Edison is taking responsibility for that fire. So that really highlights the need to get these lines underground, because I think what happened was it sparked up above, and sparked so significantly that it caught the vegetation on fire. I don't think the line came down. It was just some sparking, sounds like to me. So that's another reason we just need to continue to work on our wildfire preparation and eliminate risk wherever we can. Along those lines, the fire department is going to have an open house tomorrow, Saturday, from I think it's 9 to noon. And so that is directed at residents and how to harden their homes and make their homes more fire safe. We do have a fire inspector who also comes to homes when people have questions or would like to make their house more fire safe. So if you can make it down there, that'd be a very good thing to do. And the fire department's very helpful.
Yeah, it sounds like a great resource, especially in light of that news.
Right.
Well, that is all we had for you this week. Thank you, Mayor, for joining us, and we'll be back in a couple weeks for another episode.
I look forward to it. Have a good weekend, Clara.
Thank you, Mayor.